Hey friends, this is Christy Attaway, and today we are going to chat all things about progesterone, which is the calm, take a deep breath, calm hormone, and why it's the most underrated hormone in hormone support. Okay, so we're going to talk about my personal experience, and this is just part one of a progesterone video series. So it's only going to be about 5 minutes. So if you want more information, make sure you go on to part two and the others. Okay, so we're going to be covering how progesterone, what it actually does for you, the bioidentical version versus synthetic, what it helps, sleep, calming your system, mood, PMS, hot flashes, bigger picture, how for your health, how it helps your heart, bone, breast tissue, what happens if you just suddenly stop progesterone, and then dosing examples, okay? So these are the main sources of progesterone where your body does get its sources, and the ovaries are the main production site. The second one is your adrenals and your central nervous system. And the third one is if you happen to be pregnant, then your body will produce it because that's what helps adhere the baby to the wall of your placenta. Okay. So it's really the stability hormone, and it kind of brings you into your center. Okay, so the bioidentical, the one I'm taking is an oral pill. A lot of women like the cream. There's lots of different versions you can take, but this is where people get a little more confused with progesterone, is they say, oh, it made me feel absolutely horrible. And that's when they're getting it confused with progestin, which is usually in birth control. And the reason why they don't feel good on that progestin is because it interacts with your mood transmitters, inflammation pathways. It causes fluid retention and appetite signals, and it also will influence your estrogen and progesterone overall. And so it's a big influencer on it versus supporting it through the bioidentical path. Okay. So my personal, what I wish I knew moment, if I could go back in time, 2010 to 2015, is I definitely was not for hormones at all. I have helped women in nutrition and weight loss for over 25 years. And I saw a lot of women get on hormones and get more confused on the hormones. But what I realized later on is that it was more because they weren't metabolically healthy. So if you are metabolically healthy and you work on your nutrition, you're staying smart on what you're eating, you're getting your blood sugar in control, then the hormones can be optimized and they will actually feel good in your body. Okay. But around 2010, 2015, I just really was not for hormones at all. When really around 2015 is when I needed them. I was hardcore into fully natural body only, which I think was a really good journey for myself, but only took me so far. Okay. I was uneducated on hormones and didn't recognize how hormone support can be a protective measure. I used to think that you would just get on them to maybe feel just a little bit better. What I didn't recognize is it actually helps with your long-term health. I also mentally linked hormones with weight gain, and that was mainly due to the clients that I worked with. I would see them come into a hormone clinic. I would work with them on nutrition. They came in confused, left more confused. But once again, it was most likely because they were starting the hormones prior to being metabolically healthy. So I watched other people have poor experiences, and so I just kind of made my opinion on that. So if you're feeling that way, I'm going to invite you to think again, or consider a different opinion here. I made assumptions based on their experiences versus doing my own deep dive. The number one thing that I have noticed and that other people notice is the calm and the sleep. Okay, so, and that is because it activates GABA, which is basically your brain's main calm down neurotransmitter. Think of it as putting the brake pedal for a racing nervous system. It helps reduce the wired but tired feeling. It supports relaxation and smoother sleep onset quality. So if your brain feels like it has 37 tabs open, supporting the GABA pathways through progesterone can be very, very effective. And I am definitely a candidate of this. I am a product of this, from a busy mind to more of a calm mind. So this is part one, and hopefully you meet me on part two of our progesterone series.